Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I want to do another video for you guys here today on cooking items from my long-term food storage. Now, this particular item here is one that you don't hear a lot of people talk about, and it's just plain old cornmeal. Now, cornmeal is something we have been using for years in a bunch of different ways. It used to be really inexpensive. You know, you could get 5 pounds for 99 cents. The prices went up on it, but it's still pretty affordable. And cornmeal is pretty versatile. You can use it in both dishes that are sweet and savory, and everybody should have a good cornbread recipe where they can either make it in the house when times are good like right now, but then make it out in like a gas grill or on a fire pit. It's one of the easiest things that you can make in a Dutch oven over an open fire as well. And that bag of cornmeal that I got back there is one that we put up in 2017. We just opened our 2017 bucket up and we started using the items out of that. And I thought I'd take a little time here today to show you guys how to make one of the simplest things that you can make with cornmeal, and talk a little bit about the difference between a cornmeal and an actual field corn. Anyway, you guys stick around. All right, the first thing that I want to mention is why put up cornmeal and not just put up straight corn and then grind it. Now, regular corn has to be nixtamalized so you can get that nutrition out of the corn. You can just grind corn and use it, but you're not going to get the full nutritional benefit out of that unless you process it, unless you nixtamal it, and that's actually a whole nother process. I have done videos on that in the past, and I will throw links in the description for those videos as well, so you guys are aware of that process if you've never heard of that. But cornmeal is what's called enriched, which means they've ground it and they added the nutrients into it, so it's basically ready to go. And all I do is I vacuum seal it, and then I just put it in sealed buckets and just keep it with the rest of my long-term stuff. So nothing really too fancy that I do with it. And one of the things that we've been making for years is cornmeal mush, or polenta, I guess is another name that they use for it. And that can be made both sweet or savory, and one of the ways that we like it is savory with Parmesan cheese. And there's nothing simpler to make. Basically all you have to do is boil water, and then the added benefit, if there's any leftovers, you can actually chill that and you can slice it and then you can fry it and have it as extra. And like I mentioned before, you can make cornbread, you can make corn muffins, and you can also make like Johnny cakes. So there's a lot of things where you can add cornmeal into it, like Johnny cakes. You can take pancake mix. If you have just a little bit of pancake mixing, you can add just a little bit of cornmeal into that, and you can stretch that further. So it's good by itself, and it's also good to stretch existing ingredients, what you have. Anyway, I'm going to get some water boiling here and get some cornmeal in it and show you guys how I make my savory cornmeal mush. All right, guys, I am starting out with a good 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 cups of water. And then I am going to add a little bit of salt. This is a teaspoon of salt right here. I'm actually using pink salt for this to add a little extra minerals into it, make this a little bit more nutritious. And then I am putting in a scant cup of my cornmeal. Now, just like with the lentil video that I did, because this has been put up for a long time, you want to probably use a little bit more water to start and keep an eye on it so that you can add a little bit water. Anything that's dried, like rice, beans, lentils, cornmeal, any of that stuff that's been put up a long time, typically is going to need a little bit more water and a little bit longer cooking time to reconstitute it, because it has been just sitting. It's just the nature of the beast. Anyway, I'm going to slowly bring this up to a boil now, and I'm going to get this simmering now. You want to kind of take your time with it to give the cornmeal a chance to absorb all the liquid. I like my cornmeal mush a little bit more solid than most people. You can certainly adjust that one way or another. And you can also use milk if you would prefer to use milk, or maybe use dried milk and put that in here instead. You can also do that to make it a little bit richer, especially if you're doing like a sweet cornmeal mush. Anyway, when this is simmering here, I'm going to come back to you guys and show you how to finish it. Now, this has been simmering 6-7 minutes, and you can see the consistency here. Now, if you want this a little bit looser, you can add some more liquid into it. It's just one of those things. Everybody's got a different preference on how they like it, but you can certainly add liquid into this at any time to get it to the consistency that you want. And this was just on a low simmer here. I didn't have any crazy boiling or anything going on, because you want to give the cornmeal time to reconstitute. Now at this point, you can add in any kind of flavorings that you want. You can add sugar into it, you can add honey, you can add maple syrup, or in my case, Parmesan cheese. All right, guys, I want to talk to you just for a quick second about the Parmesan cheese that I like adding into this cornmeal mush. I've had pretty good luck storing containers of Parmesan cheese like this for the short term. I can typically get about 1.5 to 2 years out of one of these if I got a good date on it when I buy it. After that, it starts to discolor and degrade. But in the short term, for 1.5 to 2 years or so, this is a good item to keep in your pantry. And it's particularly good in this cornmeal mush here. And then, of course, if you have access to butter, you can put a couple of pads of butter in it. Or if you can ghee like I do, you can put a tablespoon of your canned ghee into this as well. And basically, you just put the Parmesan cheese in and you give it a good stir. You heat it up good so it has a chance to absorb into the cornmeal mush and flavor it. And then pretty much that's all there's to it. And it makes a excellent side dish with anything savory. We particularly like it with chicken. Anyway, I'm going to get this stirred in here, and then I'm going to give you guys a wrap up. All right, guys, that is what the cornmeal mush looks like. It's got that salty, savory pop from the Parmesan cheese. Just makes a great side dish. And remember, if you like it a little bit runnier, you can add a little bit more liquid into it. If you like it a little bit more solid like I do, you can omit a little liquid. Just remember, you got to keep an eye on it when you're cooking it. If it needs a little liquid, you can always add, but you can't take it out once you put it in. So always keep that in mind. And if there's any leftovers, you can save that and you can fry that up after the fact. And you can get a couple of uses out of the same thing. That amount that I made there, that's probably a good 5 servings for adults to go with some type of protein, like chicken or a little roast or something like that afterward. But anyway, just wanted to share this recipe here and let everybody know about cornmeal as a long-term prep item. Works really good for us, and just wanted to share my experience with you guys here. Anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys get a little information, a little entertainment, some ideas as always out of my videos, and you guys have a good one.